Turn this fan up. It's too noisy. There we go. Let's raise that up a little bit. Get a better angle. There we go. Hey. Oh, there's a mess. Alright, I guess we're just waiting for some people to turn up. I've gone nice and early. Gracie asked me to get started, so here I am. We're getting started. I'm not even really prepared, to be honest. Just getting things nice and cozy and all organised. Haven't even charged the phone, so I've got it on charge as well. But that's probably a good idea to have it on anyway, because it could go long today. Who knows? Alright. So a few bits and pieces to do before I can actually relax and do some games with anybody. And it is early on a Friday, so I don't know how many of the YouTube family we're actually going to get in. But we'll see how it goes. Ooh. The stove is a-bubbling. Let's sort the stove out. Oh, I can hear it growling. There we go. Yeah, I've got far too much fuel burning in here, obviously. I was trying to get things nice and toasty. We'll push it to the back a bit. And then we use the trick of throwing a little bit of ash on just to calm things down. That was a bit of a misthrow. We'll try again. One more. Oh, lost some. There we go. Do that with the drawer closed. We should be fine. Quick hoover. Get rid of some of that ash. Job done. There you go, that was resolved matters. How are we doing? Who have we got in? Have we got any of our family members in? That's the question. Or is it all new people wondering what on earth is going on? What is this random guy doing? If you're in, say hi. Potentially I should maybe play a bit of Bandido, but I'm just gonna continue to get myself sorted for a bit, and then we'll do some Bandido a bit later. Although if Gracie comes in, maybe she'll want to do some other game. We can do a little bit of Connect 4 or some Boggle or something like that. Alright, yeah, just put some stuff on hands. I do also want to clean on my fan. My fan is absolutely in need of some attention. We got, how are we saying this? But hi, welcome in. Syed? Am I saying it right, Syed? I hope that's how we say that. But hi, how are you doing? Let's have a little look. Get a quick chore done while I'm waiting for some of the YouTube family. This thing is minging. Can you see that? It's just like it builds up dust so fast. This thing, it's ridiculous. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Is I'm just going to clean this thing up while I wait for the YouTube family to come in en masse. I never say to people when I'm actually doing these things. I wasn't going to do it this early, but it'd be sod's law now that Gracie doesn't even turn up. She asked me to go live. I said, yeah, sure, just give me a few. And she'll probably be an hour or two before she turns up into the stream, which would be typical, but we can get cracking. There we go, just pop that out. I've not got that angled at all properly, have I? Can't see what I'm doing. You might as well at least be able to see what I'm up to. Fan maintenance. These things always need a good clean. It literally just stops. It starts making loads of noise and stops blowing. which is really annoying. It's kind of like the opposite of what you need a fan to do. I wonder if they could like create one that's self-cleaning. I find that interesting, the whole Dyson thing. We've got YouTube UK in. Hi. One of the family members has arrived. How are you doing today? Happy Friday to you as well. If I remember rightly, it's Anastasia's birthday today. I wonder if she'll actually join us. I don't really know what to do for her birthday, if we can do anything at all. Just wish her lots of happy birthday wishes, I guess, and get everybody in the stream to hit the celebration reaction or something, maybe. Yeah, that is. I mean, this bit gets a bit grim. I don't know if you can make that out. Yeah, you can. Look, it comes like that. But the blades, and this is so. I was saying this is something I find interesting about Dyson and their bladeless fans. Right? They aren't bladeless. They've got a fan with blades, and that's just hidden in the bottom, and basically pushes it up in a way that you don't see it. I guess they might have filters in there so that you don't necessarily get it accruing on the blades themselves. And I have thought about that, but the potential of just having something on the back to kind of catch some of the dust. And I guess I could potentially do something like that, but then you're going to lower the efficiency of the fan and mess with the airflow. But this thing really does just get really, really bad. I'm just going to use the brush fitting from my Hoover, my vacuum cleaner. Don't really need the vacuum cleaner part because I'll just do it over the side and clear up afterwards. I'll get the worst off. Oh, we've got Jay in. Hi Jay, I'm good. How are you? I started early today. I was just saying because Gracie asked me to come in and get started, although she has not turned up yet. She probably won't. But I figured why not? I'm just doing a little bit of a couple of chores, and then I can maybe have a go at some games in a little bit. To be fair, I'm just waiting on a friend this evening. Oh, talking of which, I should get some food on. I promised him some bolognese today, so it's already made. All I need to do is pop it over here on the stove and let that warm up. Yeah, just heat it through. That's a nice way to do it. Oh, we have Elizabeth in. Hi Elizabeth, how you doing? Glad to hear you're doing well, Jay. Looking forward to your weekend? You got any plans? Big or small? I'm just getting a couple of these little tiny jobs out of the way. This needs doing quite regularly. Things just get a bit dusty, and then this is quite a critical thing for heating the van when you're heating with a stove. Some people have these stovetop fans that run themselves from just the heat of the stove. I have used them in the past. I'm not a big fan of them. Not a big fan of the fans. Sorry, pun not intended at all. But they do a reasonable job. But an active fan like this, as I run on solar, and it doesn't really cost me anything to run a little fan like this. This is far more effective. But, as I was just saying, it does have this tendency to build up grime. Now I'm just going to clean that up properly. How are you, Elizabeth? I don't think you answered me yet. Hope you're well. Yeah, that we'll do one blade. You'll see, like, it might not look that bad on stream, but then when I wipe this thing up, you'll see just how much that. I mean, it's not going to come up perfectly clean anyway, but it's mostly the edge of the blade as well. Yeah, that actually doesn't look much cleaner, but it is. Trust me, the smoothness is there. Do you know, a better cloth might do the job. I don't know. We'll go in wet dry method. Yeah, that's actually worked all right. Even just a bit of, I suppose, exfoliation would be the word with the skin. Hey, Damsel's in. Hi, Silent Damsel. How you doing? Yeah, look, can you tell which one I've cleaned yet? I think it's pretty obvious which one's the clean one. Man, these things get so grim. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so heating with a stove, yeah, you kind of need to get the hot air moved around. Hi, James. I'm good. How are you? Did I ask Damsel, how are you? I hope I have, but if I haven't, how are you doing? Um, I mean, if I haven't, so yeah, just getting started. Wasn't planning to go so early, but yeah, I'm all warm. I've got the stove on. Let me show you. I've got the bolognese warming up on the stove. The stove itself I had to actually turn down because it's absolutely it started to boil up the hot water system. So yeah, the stove is fully cranked, and I am toasty already. To be fair, I've been spending most of the day driving. As you know, I was up in Wales, over, I suppose technically. It's not really north or south of here so much as just over to the west. But yeah, it was much colder over there. Over here, it feels so much more mild. Can sort of sense that straight away. But it is wet out there. I've got the secondary mic at the top, so you can hear the rain as it's falling. Although it has just finally slowed down a bit. So yeah, there's not so much rain. Cheers, James. Although I am planning to do like a rebuildy type thing on it, like redo it. I want to have a stove where I can see more of the flame, and where I have more control. Like I can have some space where to put the fire, and essentially integrate the hot water system a bit better into it. What I want to do is have the grate at the bottom where I sit the fire. I want like a bigger one of those, and I want to be able to have it where I can sort of have like one side which is my hot water coils, and then the other side isn't coils, so I can move the fire around and have it either on them or like half on or completely off, depending on whether I want to actually, like, you know, how much heat I want to put into them, so I can control the level of thermal energy, I guess is what you call it, that goes into the hot water system. Because it does have a tendency, if I want to really crank it up and like warm it up in here in this space, but I don't necessarily want to sort of like overheat the water system and have it all boiling off. The trouble is there's not a lot of space in there left for the amount of coil that I have. So I want to kind of balance that out a little bit better. I like having a lot of coil available so that I can really heat the water quickly, but I need to be able to then move the fire off that so then I can not have it going quite such a rager. Hi Jimmy, good to have you in. How you doing, my man? Well, it's just built up over time, the old knowledge, and I'd say there's plenty of people out there who know more than me. But stoves, just like the fires, it's like half art, half science, I say, and it's just what you get used to. So there'll be a nurse out there who's used to dealing with people in bad conditions or whatever, and wounds and things. I wouldn't know the first thing what I'm doing, and I'd probably make things worse if I tried to help someone with a wound that I wasn't used to. But yeah, and what they do probably would look impressive to me and you, but then I'm good with stoves and things to around the van. I mean, building a van, like, well, doing a conversion yourself, and that's a really good way to just learn a lot of things. There we go. That's pretty good. That's a lot cleaner, and that's going to reduce the sound and actually get it to do its job properly of blowing some air around. Yeah, so that really circulates the air in here and makes it so everywhere's warmer. And yeah, but needing to get that on straight away, really. Just get rid of some of this dust stuff here. I'm going to clean it off the side when I'm done. This thing does get so grim. It's almost nasty if you don't clean it regularly, because obviously there's the kitchen space in here. Even with the extractor that I've got, you do build up a little bit of, like, you know, it can get a bit of sort of the grease and the dust combined, and it's not good. Jobs are good. But it is mental. I have to literally take this thing apart and then put it back together again. To be fair, I've washed it before, and to the point where it used to have lights that worked part of it, like an LED system, and yeah, it was. That stopped working a while ago because I think I got it wet and it just kind of messed with it. But I literally have to like screw bits and screw them back in, and that's mental. Just pondering why me? What? Kicking a prawn. So, what do you mean pondering why you? Did something bad happen? You had an event happen that we don't know about. Who won the Monopoly last night? Asked Oliver. Oh, hi Oliver. Good to see you in. How are you doing? Um, it was Ethan in the end. Not that he did much. He just did that deal with Henry where he got a lot of cash for the one of the Browns, and he avoided paying out too much in rents. So, and because he hadn't done any other deals yet, and then the game got cut down to the short version. I say short version. We were playing for an hour and a half, I think, but it just takes so long because obviously without me to push the boys on and keep telling them it's your go, do this, do without that, and all parents will know what that's like. To be fair, when you're playing a game, and we will also have a friend who's like that. I can be that person sometimes. Why I need my friends to say it's your turn, Molly, but yeah, without me to do that because I'm focused on talking to the stream, it went a little bit even slower. Gracie was good though. She didn't make us have to wait too long. I'm wondering if she's even in. She might just be watching on her TV, to be fair. But I thought that she would be in and chit-chatting with us by now. I only came on this early because Gracie asked me to go live. Yeah, you go get some beers, don't you, James? That sounds like a good plan on a Friday. Just the usual, says Jimmy. Fair play, fair play. So, who else has got plans for this weekend, eh? I don't really have any plans per se this weekend. I'll just be doing some streaming with you guys. I might do a few chores around the van, but it's going to be a bit of a chill one because we did a fair bit this week, and it's always a bit exhausting having the boys and trying to actually fit things in because there's a lot of schoolwork to do, and then I've got to try and do all this driving, spend time with them. We're walking up the mountains and stuff. So yeah, it's and now I've got lots of things to edit. Fat Nick saying, oh, I've got to show that it got modded. No more Boggle, love your channel. Pierce, how long does it take you? No, yeah, I can see why. Best wishes, Nick from New Jersey. Now the Boggle, we could do some Boggle tonight, to be fair, and maybe some other games as well. But yeah, we could definitely do some Boggle. I'm just getting around to it. I've got I wasn't planning to be this early with the stream, and I'm just sort of finishing off a couple of chores before getting going with the games and whatnot. Right, go up here. I'll get back in. Ah, there we go. That's blowing probably 3 times as strong as it was on, like this is on the low setting, and you don't even hear it now. It's silent. Whereas before I had it on the second most powerful setting, like so there's 3. So like I had it on the middle setting. It wasn't even a third this powerful, and it was so much more noisy. I need to tidy up and get the Crimbo stuff up, brighten the gloom up. Yes, I will be doing that as well at some point. I'm hoping to take the next sort of week while I'm working to do some plans about what I want to do. Get some ideas about maybe making some decorations and definitely getting some set up in the van. So when the boys come next time, so when the boys are with me, they'll be able to help me put the tree up, get the decorations up, and get it all looking like a Christmassy kind of place. And then when we're streaming, we'll have like a really nice Christmassy feel, hopefully. But that's the plan anyway. I don't know if that's how well it's going to do, but we'll do our best. Is that my biggest fan? I can see there's like a bit of a I don't know if you can call that double entendre, but double meaning in there. I'll take you literally. Yes, that is the biggest fan I have. We have quite a few in it. No, actually, no, I have a bigger fan than that. I have one that's bigger. Use that for drying clothes and things like that when I have them in the other room. But we do have a few fans on the channel, which is quite nice. Our tree and decorations are up already, says Silent Damsel. I'm not surprised. You do strike me as the kind that would have them up nice and early. I'm just of the mind that it's. I like to not dilute the whole thing too much with too much sort of like too many days, because then by the time I get to Christmas, if it's been Christmas for a whole month and then I get to Christmas Day, it doesn't really have the same impact. So I like to build it up and go slow, but like for a short period of time. It's just my preference. I don't judge anyone who has the. I mean, there is a house in on the street where my parents live, where every year without fail, November 1st, they've got their lights up on their tree outside, and it does make me smile when I see that every year. Just that without fail, up it goes, all the lights, and I love it. Right, that is done. Shall we play a game? I think that's probably a good idea, isn't it? I'm going to put you over here on the sofa for a second while I try to get set up, and maybe I'll do. What should we do? Shall I do a bandido while we wait for a few more people, or shall we get cracking on some boggle? Let me know in the chat if you want some boggle. Oh, we've got Rach in. Hi, Rach. Yeah, the van is quite big. That is true. For as a van goes, it's a very big thing. I've got another reviewed message. Hold on. Yeah, that's a little bit. I wondered why you said house. I like the humour, Fat Nick, but let's keep it a bit less on the rude side. But my ex-wife, you probably mean by that, and by all means, you can go and talk to her about that. Jimmy's saying, I wish I had the time. Maybe I'll do Christmas all year when I'm retired. Yeah. Oh, what was this sign down saying? I keep the tree up till the day after my birthday. Well, when's your birthday then? Is it hopefully? I don't know. You. I hope your birthday's in January and not in March or something. Oh, 4th of January. Well, that's fine. I generally have a rule of like there's the 12 days after Christmas, isn't it? Which a lot of people do. And I generally try to go for 12 days before, but I don't keep that too strictly. And again, the 12 days after, I don't either. It kind of depends on the schedule with the boys a little bit. So if they're about for like the first bit of January and we're enjoying it, maybe we'll keep them up. But if it's getting to the point where they're getting in the way, then I'm like, maybe do something about this. Now, I've had some thoughts this year about tree. Now we're talking about decorations. I have a tree at the allotment that for several years now. It's a little thing, and we've had it in the van, but it's got a bit weird looking. And I was thinking about like when we first moved in the van, we did a thing where we created like a felt tree out of like some the cardboard what the walls are made of. I used some of that, and I covered it in green felt, and we created like a tree that you could sort of put up against the wall, so it was sort of out of the way, but it had lights on it and decoration still. And I was thinking, but I do love a real tree. It's like, for me, it's like you got to have a real tree. The issue with a real tree in here is even a small one, it has a tendency to take up quite a lot of space. It occurred to me though, it has occurred to me that I could get a Christmas tree, and I could either like, I don't know, I couldn't train it because I don't have the time, but I could trim it in such a way where instead of it just being super round like that, I could chop it so it's kind of flat, so it has the right shape as you look at it from one way, so it would have like the the Christmas tree triangle, but from the side profile it would just be flat. So I could have it up against the wall, or even just like one side chops them off. So I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking I might buy a new tree from the shop this year and chop it up so that I can put it in the van, so in a way where it doesn't take up too much space, but yeah, we get the effect of a real tree. I think I like that. Fat Nick's asking, what van model is it? It looks massive. It's a Peugeot Boxer, but not your standard kind of thing. It was a chassis only kind of vehicle, and then a company called Maxi Mover take it on, and they have different shells that they put on at the back, and it's essentially it's their, I think it's the second biggest Luton box that they do. They do one that's one bigger, but the issue is the bigger you go in terms of volume, the more weight there is on the sort of the walls, and so you're reducing your capacity in terms of payload. And to be honest, payload is the hardest thing to worry about in here. I've obviously got a lot of space, but you have to worry about keeping under the 3.5 tons. Published in the Beano. You wish, Jimmy, you wish. Oh, I didn't see that Oliver said he had his kids, so he had to run pizza time. If you watch this after, Oliver, sorry about that, but I hope you enjoy time with your kids. Right. No one said anything about Boggle, so I'm going to have a crack at some Bandido, I think, just to give everyone something to look at while I'm waffling on. Well, as we were talking about the van, and we've got some people in, obviously haven't had the tour yet. I will do a tour later. If there's a couple of people who were asking about it, I think. I'm trying to remember names now. They're new people. Sienna was one, and there was another person who was asking about van tour, and I said, well, they're asking a lot of questions about the van, and I said I'd give them a tour on the weekend at some point. So if they come in this evening, I'll do a tour. But if they don't turn up, I'll still do a tour at some point if people are still interested. But yeah, it's kind of half the interest on the channel, I think, is the fact that I live in a van. It's an unusual enough thing. I'm fully aware that people get very curious. The amount of times I have to give somebody a tour, like a in real life tour, you'd be surprised at how often people like want to have like a little look around and whatnot. The last time someone asked me about it, I had to actually say like, oh, I can't really talk about the van and show you anything right now, because I was coming out the van and I was on a date with Louise, and she was obviously waiting on me, and I didn't want to make her wait. And he's like trying to ask me those questions, and he's like, I really love it. And I was like, dude, you've caught me at such the wrong time. Any other time, and I'd chew your ear off about the van, but right now I need to get off and like have my date basically, and I don't want to be rude, so I've got to go. And I was like, oh, okay, because I love chatting to new people, because he was saying he wanted to do something, and people often want to see how I've done it and get ideas for their own, and get my take on what their ideas are like, you know, whether they think that will work and stuff like that. Hey, we've got Human in. Hi Human, how you doing? And Mark as well. Hi Mark, how you doing? Hope you guys are well. Have you got any plans for your Friday night? I'm sad enough I'm just going to be in here with you guys, so. Well, I say that, I have got a friend coming around later. My friend Lucas will be coming around. We'll have dinner, we'll have some spaghetti bolognese together. And where is the Bandido? There it is. Yeah, we'll have some spaghetti bolognese together, probably play some chess. But he is bringing me a big fat load of wood, and that's not an innuendo. He's literally going to bring me loads of wood from work that I can use in my fire to burn. He likes supplying me with lots and lots of fuel. We've got Humans saying, I had the same thing at a restaurant when my date was waiting and some guy was talking to me about prepping for the end of the world. Yeah, preppers like to talk about that. It's the end of the world as we know it. Right, let's just sort out the legs. Right, oh, excuse me. Right. It's always tricky. You can see I've got this thing plugged in as well. There we go. Oh, that has not worked. Let me try that again. It's going to walk itself everywhere. That's as high as we're getting it. Right. I think there maybe. Put it down. And then change the lighting a little bit. Excellent. I need to get my other device out so I can see the chat, and then we can get cracking it again. Cool, that fan is really going. I've got to turn it around actually. Point it into the kitchen. That's nice. Right, let's just check on the spaghetti bolognese. Yeah, I think everything's good. Right. YouTube. Go here. Chat settings. All messages. There we go. Ross saying great camera angle. I don't know. Oh wait. So let me go back a little bit. Did I set myself up somewhere? Did I? I don't know. Did I get a bad did I get a rude camera angle or something? You have Parmesan in yours. I used to have Parmesan on mine. These days I just go with a really strong cheddar. I'm realising that is not level at all. Gold. I will learn at some point how to frame things up properly. Right, and we learnt from last time, if I pop the case off this. Yep, that's all good. It'll stand in my stand a lot easier. There you go. Much better. He was saying he was very openly talking about how him and his bought a second-hand something and how they could live on it for 6 months. If the apocalypse doesn't happen, someone would have robbed his boat. Oh, I see. Before we get fair enough. I often think of preppers don't seem mental enough to survive in that world, but you never know. I think there's a few. I think it's like anything. You know, you got some people who want to be famous and like maybe they want to be a singer or an actor, and there's a few that make it, and then there's the others that were just a bit delusional. They didn't really have the talent or whatever. And I think it's like that with preppers. Some of them know what they're up to, know how to really store things, have an idea of like what's going to happen. And some of them are going to luck out, and the thing that happens will be the thing that they might have prepped for, and they might actually have some supplies. I don't know if it means they'll live through the whole thing, but they'll certainly give themselves a better chance. And then there's the others where they're just nuts and they just have no clue. So yeah, I don't know. I like to think that it's more about figuring it out as it goes. Like I think like the van gives me a pretty good shot in terms of like, you know, if things going to go bad, I feel like one of the biggest things that are probably going to happen is just the climate change stuff, where lots of coastal flooding and things like that, lots of weather pattern change. So there's going to be places maybe that become unlivable. Like the UK could become really difficult to live in if the AMOC shuts down, which according to all the science it kind of could do. And then we might all start looking to see if we can't move to some warmer climates. It's going to be pretty easy for me. I just drive the van over wherever I want, sorted, no problems. Other people got to worry about a house that they put like, I don't know, 200, 300, 400 grand into, whatever, or even million plus. And now they can't sell it because it's part of essentially a new Icelandic kind of like country that shouldn't be frozen over, but is. And nobody wants that house anymore, so then all your money's stuck in a place where you can't move out of. That's a bit tricky. So, you know, there's things that can happen that I'd be a bit more prepared for. So, yeah. Do I make my own bolognese sauce? Yes. I make my own stuff. I don't think I could stand a shop bought bolognese. That'd be awful. Henry sometimes has one of the microwave ones. Like I'll have a microwave chicken curry. They Co-op do a really good chicken jalfrezi, and it's really nice. It's not the kind that if I make myself. Like I've got a chicken curry in the fridge that I made myself for me and the boys. I've got some in the freezer and some in the fridge. But yeah, got a nice bit of chicken curry here, ready for another day. And yeah, I do that sort of thing. I just like make a big batch. So that's what I did with the bolognese. I made a batch of the bolognese earlier in the week. Me and the boys have had it a couple of times this week. And yeah, I've still got a fair bit left, enough for me and Lucas to have a meal this evening. And if there's any left over, I'll put that in the freezer or the fridge. And yeah, I think I've still got a bit of bolognese from the last batch actually in the freezer, ready to go. We've got Kaladin, Silver Fox, as always, thank you very much. The legend. Hope you are having a wonderful day. Yes, I am, and I am trying to stay hydrated, but I am quite bad at that sometimes. It's not been too bad a day though. With all the driving, it's not really been the sort of day to dehydrate me. Human, giving it the absolutely. Sometimes we're having s'mores for dessert. Nice. I don't like s'mores myself, but the boys love them, especially when we do them on the fire. Gingerbread flavoured digestives. Ooh, and an indoor s'more setup. Nice. Yeah, the boys often just do it over the hob if they're roasting some marshmallows, but it's not as good as a proper fire. Yeah, that killer instinct. Well, it depends what goes wrong, doesn't it? Really, human. Talking about the whole like end of days thing. I mean, it's not all scenarios are going to need a killer instinct. You're going to need a diplomatic instinct. Like if, let's face it, if like say the climate shifts, right? I imagine we've all probably seen Day After Tomorrow, that movie, and obviously like a lot of America ends up in an ice age, and they all want to go and move down to Mexico, essentially, where it's still like, you know, the climate's all right. And I think they do something like agree to open up the border to let all the Americans go south and evacuate into Mexico, and they basically just forgive the Mexican debt or something to get it happened. And of course, it's not going to be that simple in real life if it happened, but let's think about it. Like, this happens all the time in the world now. People end up getting displaced from where they live because of some disaster or something happens, and you have to go and live somewhere else. And that's the likelihood of it. Not that everything's going to end, but just where you are, things change enough that you can't stay there and you've got to move somewhere else. And now you need diplomacy. Now you've got to get on with a whole new set of people and have the ability to integrate yourself into their society. Because nobody really wants you turning up and just replacing their society with yours. So there's a name for that. I can't remember what it is, but yeah. So I feel like that's a better skill to have, like people skills. That's a, I mean, killer instincts is only going to help you if it's like, say, zombies and stuff. I don't know, and that seems a bit far fetched to me. If it all hits the fan, if the S hits the fan, yeah, I know what you're saying. Brother Bamberg Castle is the plan. And you're welcome to join me. I've never heard of that. Is that like a proper castle? Tell me about that. That sounds interesting. That might be a spot to go and investigate in the van some point. Maybe a stealth camping spot even. I don't know. Short pork bolognese is so full of bad ingredients. I make my own too. Yeah, you got to do it. I love making my own food. If I can batch cook something, like I love doing a beef and veg stew. The bolognese, obviously. I used to do a lovely cauliflower cheese, and I'd put bacon in it. I can't eat the bacon anymore, and the cauliflower cheese is so bad for me. I don't make it anymore. But yeah, I do like my own curries. Like most meals I can do myself. I like make homemade pies and stuff and whatnot. But there's like a balance between effort and reward. So the juice has got to be worth the squeeze. It really has. Right, let's get 3 cards down to get used. Right, that's the stack. Yeah, that's it, human. Depends on the type of apocalypse for sure. Right, we've got 2 that we can start off with that are actually really good for starters. And we're just going to go straight at it and do that. And we don't have any less tunnels, but they're now all facing just 2 ways, which should allow us to do some cool stuff. There we go. First one to get closed. Is that lot. I'm going to put that there just because there's a lot more options for what can close that. Oh, we could I could close one of these. That is possible. That changes things slightly now. I'm going to go there with that, just see what happens. I want to see what I actually get first. Yeah. See, the problem is if I close these down, I'm left with 2 singles, and they'll probably blow up immediately. So I'm thinking I'll actually do that as a crazy move. There we go. Now we've got corners. We've got a closer. I'm going to close this one immediately. Just want that done. I've got another closer. So, biding a bit of time here, I'm going to do a single here. I hope to get a corner. Do the same thing. Just keep it to a single. No go. I can do a similar move with that. Doesn't really change anything. So now we've got a corner. There we go. Put that there. Now I've got 2 singles. And I've got 1 closer. Oh, the jam of it. The jam. The absolute jam. I love it. We have done it. That was easy. There we that was so easy, that one. That was ridiculous. Yeah, but I agree. If it's a matter of having to leave where we live and flee to another country, it would all be about being diplomatic and extremely polite, resourceful and thankful. Yeah, you know, resourceful is always going to come into it, I think. Being able to roll with the situation. I think people going about killer instinct. I think the instinct is not so much the killer instinct, but the instinct to take time to think but not hesitate. So you've got to deal with a situation. The instinct to just shut down and go, oh, I can't deal with this, is not going to get you anywhere when things go bad. And let's face it, the odds are in favour of it going bad in the next sort of, I don't know, 15, 20 years, I don't know. Yeah, 10 to 20 years, if things are going to get pretty gnarly. There's this whole thing about the moon cycle, basically meaning that at the moment it's kind of holding the tides back from being too big. But as the sea levels are rising, if they go above a certain point, when that shifts and it stops basically helping with that and the levels are higher, we're going to get a lot of flooding. It's going to change a lot of like the currents and things. Yeah, you know, if that AMOC shuts down, you know, we could have a lot of issues in this area of the globe. Then you've got the whole El Nino thing. It's been getting massive and crazy over there. And you've got like the Russian sort of permafrost going to all hell. So there's a load of like danger signs of that sort of stuff. But then you've got the AI threat thing that people are now going on about, and that could be like a big issue. Yeah, and then just resources in general, people going to struggle. Like just the banana situation, if you think about it, is like and what happened in COVID with just, you know, and like energy and things like that, just people being able to get things that we're so used to now. You know, you go back, you know, 50 years, people weren't just having bananas and oranges and whatever. You know, you'd get an orange in your stocking at Christmas because it was a special thing. You know, a tangerine or something, you wouldn't see one in them all year. Now everyone's got them all day long and we all get used to it, and you know, you can buy whatever you want down the shop. No one's wanting for anything. A lot of that could change. And then resourcefulness and your willingness to switch with that. I mean, what happens when we all run out of toilet roll? You know, that was the big thing in COVID. Like, what was them do? And I was like, well, hold on. Like, what did they do beforehand? I started researching all that, and I was like, oh, okay, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. There's a lot of things growing around that we can basically use, and now I've identified what they are and how easy they are to grow. If it all went to the SHIT, and we didn't have toilet paper, I think I'd manage still. And the fact is, you know, you just have the B-Day ones, you're good. But yeah, there's a lot of things like factors that you just don't know what's going to happen. But I feel like there's so many threats in, something's going to happen. Which I guess is why Elon Musk is trying to run off to Mars. WTF are you doing? Well, I'm shuffling some cards, to be fair. I'm about to play another round of this game called Bandido, and I'm just chatting to my YouTube family, to be fair. What I mean is, if all civilized structure collapsed around us, it would bring out the worst in people. I think having a group with mixed skills would be essential. Yeah, that's some truth in that. You definitely want some mixed skills, because nobody's going to know everything themselves, so you definitely want people with various skills. I think if that happened, I'd be a pretty valuable guy to have around, because I'm pretty resourceful and I know how to do stuff. So like, you know, if infrastructure goes and there's, you know, somebody needs to sort out the power and the plumbing and stuff like that, I'm all right with that. You know, I've got the know-how. Right, we've got people in here who are just like literally saying nonsense stuff. Yeah, you're gone. Are you playing cards here? Oh, we've got Chloe in. Hi, Chloe. Good to see you. So I'm just dealing with some mod messages here. Oh yeah, that guy's gone anyway. I've modded him out of existence, and I think it's probably him as well. Right, cool. How are you doing, Chloe? I'm guessing you're just chilling again today. You're probably not in your tent doing any crazy camping in this weather. Oh, I'd like to use that, but I can't use that there. I got, oh, I should show you what I've got. I've got closers galore. I'm going to close this one, just because I've got to use one up and I might as well use it there. Another oh, this is bad. If I get too many closers now, if I don't get enough, I'm in trouble. I'm going to use that one up there. I need to get something useful here. Oh, this is going to be a bit of a difficult thing. Oh, this is problematic actually. This looked really promising for a minute, but it's going to get gnarly. Ah, it's the wrong way round. If that had been the other way, if the, that is annoying. Oh, I don't really want to close anything right now. I don't want to make anything worse. I can't use that anyway, so why hold on to it? Just put it there. Oh, that could be useful. If we put that there, we get just a corner. Yeah, just waiting for a corner piece then though. Oh, this is... no, this is bad. This is very, very bad. I'm going to do that because I just need to get myself out of danger. That will work. Let's go for that corner there. We've got Chloe's. Oh, I've missed loads. Wait a second. Chloe said, "Ever thought about van life eating challenges, as in find a nice place, film yourself doing an eating challenge?" What you mean, like eat as much as you can kind of challenge? Because I'm not into that. I'm trying to lose some weight, Chloe. I'm not trying to gain some. In terms of like places to eat, I think when I did my stealth camping, I think people enjoyed seeing me trying to eat in random places. Like I did one stealth camp next to the drive-through at McDonald's, and I just was cooking my own stuff next door to it, basically. Would be entertaining watching the sheer panic of a lot of people. For a minute maybe, but the juice and we have to squeeze on that one. It's fun to watch on TV maybe. No, but I saw a sleeping bag onesie I'd like to try out. It's 60 quid. A sleeping bag onesie. That could work. There's a video in there somewhere, Chloe. Yeah, Bamberg Castle is a completely intact castle. Really great. Where is it then? Is it? Tell me where. What? Give me a big town name next to it, maybe, or what county? Oh, yeah, I got it. Like a sleeping baggy. Well, I got the idea of that one. Up to -5 temperatures. That's pretty solid. But then, if you're wearing it, would you get too hot if you're walking around and doing anything active? No worries, human. You take your call. Northeast outside sea houses. Don't know. Oh, some traffic going on out there. Right, I took another card. Let's put this over here. This is not a friendly board. What are we doing? I'm going to do this. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've gone back up to 6. And we've used individual closes, which is not great. Well, I'm going to go for that there, because that gets that down to that. Oh, what is it doing to me? I'm going to put that there and hope for a C to close that at some point. And I'm going to maybe use my single closer on that. Yeah. I'm going to use my single closer here. So I'm looking to close it off with a C. And I've got a single here. And whoa, the wind. The van just went woof woof. The wind is absolutely kicking. I'm going to put that one there. Oh, that's excellent. That was the right piece. Look at that. Sweet. Oh, we have a single closer. We'll use that on there. Just straight off. That's annoying. I wanted to keep them together, but I guess it doesn't really matter too much. In fact, if I do that, then I might do that, and I can get a piece potentially that would go here. Should I go backwards? I don't really want to go backwards. I want to go that way. but it's coming off the board. I'm going to have to move everything. Annoying. That goes there. That's right. There we go. And we're going to put that there. I'm going to swing that one around. Oh, that is some grim pieces we've got there. Have you got plans this weekend, Chloe? Are you going to go out camping a bit, or you got something else going on? Hope you've got something fun to do. Oh, this is not great. I might do that. It's risky, but well, I say risky. I've got the piece I need right there already. Silly me. Okay. I'm going to go with the close here. See what comes of it. I don't know about this. Ooh, I quite like that. Turn that down to 1. Oh, we can't use that over here, but we could have used it there. That's annoying. Yeah, got some more ideas. I'm just relaxing playing snooker tonight. Sienna's in. Hi, Sienna. How you doing? Glad to have you back in. Chloe's saying, I bought some cigs earlier. You mean like cigarettes? Oh, you don't smoke, do you? That's bad for you. Don't do that, Chloe. There we go. That's going to sit there, actually. That's okay. I think this is one of the ones where it looks okay for a minute and then it's just going to get right out of hand. I'm going to put that one there. Turn that out. Oh, this is annoying. Yeah, we've had some good ones in the chat. Human was in, but he's disappeared off to go get something done, I think. But we've got Chloe in. She's a lovely one. I'm going to go with, I think, does that make sense? Maybe not. I don't like any of it. I'm just going to do that and hope I get a good one. This is bad. This is so bad. Can I expect another triple piece? Maybe one with an end. Yeah, I think there's a piece like that out there. Oh, that's so annoying. I'm just going to put that there like that. Got to use up the bad ones and just try not to do too much damage. I think if I do that, just got them back together somehow. Still don't like it, but that turns that into a corner. Can you still see what I'm up to? Yeah, just about. Oh, we have a single closer. We'll use that over here so I don't have to think about that anymore. So there's still that double here that I have to think about when I get a C. That's where it's got to go. I've got a couple of these T's, but I've got Chris in as well. Has the person whom had their driving lessons today been in? You're right, it was Kat. No, we haven't heard from Kat, but he did say that he might not be in because he's going to go straight out to a carvery or something after the test. So we have our fingers crossed for Kat. We're really hoping that Kat passes. And we did have someone who's going to have a birthday today, and I don't know if she's going to arrive. I think that was Anastasia, if I remember rightly. Somebody definitely said something about a birthday. I'm going to put that one there. I think. How you doing, Chris? Hope you're well. Oh, this game is annoying me. Well, I'm going to put that one there. It's getting a little bit brutal here now. This is... Can I do anything sensible with this lot? No, not really. I'm just going to do that. We have a corner piece now, but the corners aren't really helping me right now. I'll put that there. I think that makes more sense. Oh, dearie, dearie me. That's not a great piece at all, is it? I'm going to put that there. This is going so badly now. That gets that down to 1. That gets that back to 2. We have one of the pieces we need. That one there. Excellent, excellent. Oh, we have another one exactly the same. I don't think that's going to help me right now, though. I can make a corner, use the corner up, and I've got a single. But I could also potentially use that. Do that somehow. Nah, that's not... I think the best one is maybe to do that, create a corner, to use the corner piece on. Oh, you joke. Oh, that's brutal. What if I do that? I create the corner here. I'm going to put that corner there. Now I've just got a single over here, a single here, single here, and that double over there. We can use this to turn that double into a single, but I don't want to do that. I think that's like a big risk. We can turn a single to a double and then turn a double back to a single. That could work. Yeah, we'll just do that now. We're just literally trying to tread a little bit of water while we wait for some good pieces. That'll sort of maybe help over here. Oh, it's getting bad. We're not getting the right pieces. Oh, we've got Zing back in. I don't know what you're talking about, boshing a Mitsubishi in her mouth. But you left the UK in '97. Wow. What were you doing in the UK before that? Were you a student? So what are your plans today, Sienna? Are you doing anything tonight? Are you going to get out and have some crazy fun? Well, the other game was nice. This one is turning into a bit of a brutal bit of nonsense. What am I going to do with this? I think... Oh man, it's growing all the way over there, so I'm going to have to move the whole thing again. It's really, really annoying. I want to close that single off over here because it's got no hope of being any use to anything. I'm going to put that one there. I do not like this, but no, yeah, none of that's going to really work. I'm going to put that there just to turn that one around. Might be able to utilize something here. If I did that there, the thing is, I don't know how many of these are out there. I think there might be 2. And then that would close them off, but that's a massive gamble if I put that there. Oh, I've got a single up here. I don't know if you can actually see it. I'm stretching right off the board up here, but yeah, I've got a... So I like that as a move. Oh, that was here. I'm just closing that off. Right, so now we have that one. So what we're going to do is we're going to lengthen that out. We've got the C. We have to put the C there. We're going to bring that back around onto the table. Can you see? Yeah, it's just coming back in. I'm just keeping that as a single. Oh, you're brutal, brutal. Oh, that's so much rubbish. What am I going to do with that? If I did that, that doesn't really help a huge amount. But yeah, I think my best play might be... Okay. I'm going to put that there. I plan for these 3 in a row. Yeah, and then we're going to go that one there. I've got a single closer. It doesn't really help a huge amount, but I feel like I've probably made an absolute stuff up here somewhere. I'm going to use that for now, just trying to keep the game alive. We're getting down to the last few cards here. Oh, I've got single closers. Thing is, I can't use them up to... If I use a single closer, I will need to use a C here. This is a big problem. I'm going to use that one there and just really hope that this pans out. No, that's not good. Problem is, I can put this here, but I'm going to need a similar one over there. But we've already got 2 of these out. I don't think there were 4 of these. Maybe there are. Do we play like there are? We know that there's surely got to be another one of these in here. I'm sure there's 2 of them. Ay. I know there's another C for this as well. I've got to the point where I need to basically keep going, but I don't want to, because the cards I need are in here, and I'm going to change things up and mess it all about. Oh, this is not good. I'm just going to have to take the risk here, and I don't think that's going to work out somehow. There's the closer that I need for there. Oh, that's brutal. I can't go. Yeah, there wasn't another one. I was done anyway. I was toast. I thought there was 2 of these. Oh, there are. There's one here and there's one here. My bad. Oh well. And that's how you end the game like that. So sorry, I've missed some stuff. Chloe was just saying, you bought a pineapple plant earlier. Oh, that's cool. But will it produce fruit that you can eat, or is it just an ornamental thing? Because I know like some fruits like that, they do them and they're just ornamental. Well, so actually they have a little baby pineapple on top. It's cute. It can take 3 years to get a pineapple. I'm guessing though, if it takes 3 years, you would be able to eat it. I mean, it's not exactly an efficient way to get fruit, I guess, but going back to the old apocalypse potentialities, if you've got a pineapple tree, I guess eventually, 10, 15 years down the line, it might be big enough to be producing quite a few. Might be coming handy. Right. Do you know what? I'm surprised. Gracie said she wanted me to go live, and I went live about, what's this, like over an hour ago. She hasn't bothered to arrive. That's typical, isn't it? Oh well. I did want to get it out of the way anyway, the live stream today, because as I say, I've got a friend coming around later. Right, maybe we'll do another game or something. I don't know. What do we all want to play? We could do a bit of Boggle. Oi, nearly lost the battery. Sorry. Yeah, we could do a bit of Boggle, or we could. Yeah, something nice to look after. That's true. That's a nice way to look at it. Lush green leaves. Yeah, that's a very good way to look at that. Right. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's go to a bit more of a chillax mode. It's a Friday, and I feel sometimes when the adults are in, it's nice just to sit by the stove and let's all enjoy that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch things up and get that sorted. Let's see how much battery I've got. 39. Yeah, I need to stay plugged in. That is basically not going up or down. I could probably help by getting the brightness down a little bit. It does not need to be that bright in my face. There we go. That's nice. Right, let me just get the stove sorted a little bit. So you can see I've got my food warming up. That's actually going quite well. Just gonna give that a little stir. Yeah. It takes a long time to warm it through from the stove like this, but that's all I really need to do. It was in the fridge. And essentially it's warming it up for free. I don't have to pay for any fuel for the actual warming process. It's just sticking it on the stove, so it's quite an effective way to do it, really. Let's get the stove into good flame mode. Just mess with the fuel until we've got it to a place where it'll be good. There we go. What I might do, as you guys are watching, do a little bit of clean up. So I'll just get a bit of the ash, a bit of damp stuff, and rub it on this. Give it some of those bits, a bit caked up. And then this was taught to me by a customer who I clean the windows for sometimes. And she was like, yeah, use the ash. And it cleans up things really nicely. And then I just go over a little bit of damp kitchen roll as well. And you end up with quite the nice little bit. There we go. Whee! So, let's relax and have a chit chat. Always nice to have a little bit of a chin wag. Let's just get this set up so you don't fall around, and that's not going to work at all. There we go. There we have it. Hey, you can see food warming up and all that. Excellent. Hey, there we have it. I'm just gonna itch my head though and mess up my hair, but it'll go back how it wants to go back. There we go. Sorted. Now I look all rough. Oh, we have Sarah in. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you. I'm just literally getting chilled on the sofa. We just finished playing a little. Ooh. Okay, that is kicking off. Let me just turn on that. Oh no, it's already on. There you go. We've got that cranked apparently. That's wanting to bubble away in there. There we go. How are you doing, Sarah? I hope you're well. Oh, we've got Michelle in as well. Fantastic. Hi, elbow. You have my elbow in the screen at the time. Sorry, sorry, Michelle. I'm doing well. I hope you are. Are you feeling any better? I'm sure you would, sir. And I don't think I'd complain. How do you run the cooker? Gas? Also, do you have solar panels? Yes. So I've got a solar panel, a big one at the back, which I use as a canopy over the back door as well. And then I do have some on the side, but they were like a bit of an afterthought when I used to have panels on the roof. But the problem with roof panels, if you're doing this all year round, is they don't actually produce much in the winter. You need an angle to point them at the sun properly. You're fine. You can misbehave if you want, Sarah. It's a Friday night. The boys are not here. We're good to go for a bit of adult humour. We're good. I'm glad to hear you're a bit better, Michelle. That's really good. I was worried about you there for a little bit. So yeah, that's nice to hear that you're feeling better. Has everyone finished their working week? That's a good question, because I obviously haven't been working this week. I've just been chilling out over at Wales and having fun. But I guess most of you have probably been doing your 9 to 5s or whatever you do. I hope none of you do night shifts or anything. I think, Sarah, don't you have some stranger hours, I guess, with your as a carer? And I think one evening you were in saying that you were still at work. So I guess you do like shifts or something, I guess. Got Rohan in. Hi, Rohan. It is. It's nice and cosy. It's even on a night like this. I don't think it's raining anymore. Now I did have another mic. Like I've got both my mics on. One of them was over on the high point at the back, so that when it was raining you could hear the rain. But that finished a little while ago. We've got Oakin saying good evening. My name is David. Oh, David. Sorry. I'm out sharing an encouraging thought from the Bible today. How are you doing? I'm great, but we don't do a lot of Bible talk here. We don't do politics and religion on all the big topics. We keep it light and simple, and try to ignore all the flirty comments that come through from the different gentlemen and ladies who come in. Have you have you cranked your hog today? I think we all know what that means. And the answer to that is an honest no, not today. Um, and we've got Sarah. I figured you might work shifts. You've got 7 days off. That's nice. That's really nice. What are you going to do with your 7 days? You've got to do something nice, surely. And David's coming in. Yeah, that is true. That's true. Lots of people feeling overwhelmed, and that's kind of what we do here. We try to give people a place where they don't feel overwhelmed. They don't have to do a lot of big thinking. They can just enjoy time together and connect with some people, and they can stop scrolling on the screen as well. Hopefully. Hold on. Well, so you took 9 days off. So what, you took an extra couple of days on top of your 7, or you mean you're adding that to the other 7? You've confused me, Sarah. Easily done. Easily done. Just resting. That's fair enough. Rohan saying, do you think UK supermarkets should ban selling pork halal meat only? I don't really have an opinion on that, to be honest. I don't eat pork anymore. Can't. I love eating pork, but it does not agree with me, so I have stopped eating that. I'm sorry to hear that, Sarah. I hope you're not too under the weather. It seems to be going around. Loads of the family members have been telling me how they've been poorly lately. I'm fingers crossed that I have not got anything from Ethan. He definitely wasn't feeling 100% this week, but he seems to have got better quite quickly. So I'm hoping it was nothing too major. Maybe this time I got lucky and it hasn't bothered to like jump ship to me as well. Yeah, Michelle, you've been really under the weather with the chest infection, and did you say you have asthma as well? So it's like double whammy on that. That must be awful. What the chat is popping. It's UK. I won't be signing any petitions. That's just I'm not into doing that. David, let's keep the talk about that sort of stuff out of the chat, please. I will give timeouts when needed. Naughty. Hey, Callum's in. Hi, Callum. How you doing? Great to see you. I ain't been seeing you for a little while. What have you been up to? So saying pork is the hardest meat to digest. I can believe it. To be fair, I think my issue was just an allergy thing because I'm allergic to cats and dogs, and I found this out. This is how it worked out. I've been trying to do figure out what was causing me my gastrointestinal problems for quite a while, and I've done a lot of what's it called? The diet, not inclusions, the other way around, whatever it is. The other word means the opposite of that. Basically, taking things out of my diet to see what it was. And gluten, kind of like getting rid of that helped a little bit, but didn't really solve anything. And there's certain things I tried where they kind of eased the conditions, but they didn't really make it like solve anything. And then I was doing a bit of research, and I came across, because I was thinking maybe it's like an allergy thing, I don't know. So I was doing a little bit of looking into it, and I kind of came across a few articles where they were saying if you have an allergy to cats, it quite often means you're allergic to pigs as well. And I was like, if I ate something I was allergic to, would I get these issues? And I was like, maybe. So maybe I should look at that. And so I thought, okay, I'll try doing without pork for a while. And to be fair, it's not exactly healthy anyway. It's a bit of a fatty thing, and loads of bacon and sausages is not good for the waistline. So I thought, yeah, I'll give it a shot, give it a try, and lo and behold, all the symptoms stopped pretty quick. So I was like, whew, it's problem solved. So I'm all right to have my gluten, and I don't mind. And I went ages not having any rapeseed oil because that has loads of erucic acid in it, which is super bad for you. And yeah, just all the other things that I've been trying, I was able to just have again, which was a lot simpler. It's so much simpler just going, I can't have pork, because that's just like anything that says it's vegetarian safe I can have, and any meals out, I don't have to worry what kind of oil they've put on it and has it been touched by gluten or anything. I just go, if it's a chicken dish, I'm good. If it's a pork dish, don't order it. It's so much simpler. Um, yeah, yeah, too much religion there was, but I think he's stopped now, which is good. Um, what was Michelle saying? Bless, take some time out for yourself. Yeah, absolutely. Sarah should definitely just take some time and rest. Um, uh, my name is, well, my real name is Alan, but everyone calls me Molly, to answer the question there. All right. Somebody's going to get a timeout now. This David person is going to get a timeout. There we go. Into modded chat that I don't like. What's that? Yes. What were you, Laura? What is Sarah talking about? Like, oh, I see. Yes, Barley, I guess, was with me, and Whitebread. Oh, okay. Do you know? I totally misread that the first time I read that. Yeah, yeah. It's weird, isn't it? Like different things affect different people. But unfortunately, they affect you in similar ways. And so then, like quite often, like a nutritionist or a doctor or whatever will often assign you the same like sort of root problem as someone else. Uh, um, yeah, ALAN is my one, but I prefer Molly, to be fair. Everybody pretty much calls me Molly. The only person who doesn't call me Mole or Molly is Noah. Everybody else calls me like by my nickname. Oh, you're welcome, Sal. It's always nice to have you in. Um, it's kind of a thing for me actually. I always talk about it, but yeah, I went through a pretty bad time for a little while there. Well, a couple of times in my life, to be fair, but more recently, for the breakup with the missus and whatnot. And yeah, it's there were times I was like, it would be really nice to have people where I could just have them about like on a regular basis. I've got friends, but they have their own lives, and you can't like just lean on people constantly like that. So sometimes I'd be sitting around in the evening with nothing to do but sit and think about all the bad things that have happened. And yeah, that's not a great place to be in. And I'm aware there's loads of people out there. Even though I've had to give them a time out, David was like very correct when he said the world has gone to a bit of muck at the moment, and there's a lot of people in a lot of similar situations like that. And I'm just like, yeah, I think you've had some bad situations from what I can see from your YouTube profile. You have a little bit of something on your bio. I was a bit like, well, that's, it's not something I've ever had any personal experience with, but I could see you've obviously been through some troubling times as well. And I feel like a lot of us have, and sometimes you need people around just to be around. You don't even need anything from them. You just want to have somebody to chat with and a little group to be part of, and that is definitely what this is all about. And then I can meet nice people like yourself, Sarah, and it works for me, and it's both ways, isn't it? What's this? Something about somebody doing live streams on the street of London? No, I've not heard of that person. 400 quid a day though sounds all right. Maybe that's what I should be doing. Whew. Oh yeah, look, there's a ghost over there. Look, and if I move a little bit, actually it's more the wind than. Oh no, there you go. Look, now they're moving even more. So yeah, 123 Chelsea. We'll call you Chelsea. There we go. That's because I'm in a van. I live in a van, and I don't have my stands on right now, which stops it from moving a certain amount. So anytime I move and I'm sort of like doing anything like this sort of movement, it'll move the whole van, and then that makes them sort of jingle around a little bit. I'm sorry to hear that, Sarah. Well, I did say to you, if you want to email me and we can, chat a bit and all that, I'm always available if you want to talk. I know I'm not always streaming, but my evenings are pretty free most of the time. So I talk to some people here and there. Gracie does like to bend my ear in my YouTube comments like constantly some days. But the comment section is just a weird place to have like conversations in. So yeah, it's but that's why I have my email on my bio so that people can get in touch. Sometimes it's like random stuff from people wanting to do like some sort of like promo thing through my channel, and I'm like, no, you don't, not really, because it's like my channel's tiny. You don't want my channel, but it's nice though. I've met quite a few friends through that. So Tim, like I think we kind of connected through the comments more, but then we obviously went through email to get like phone numbers. Paul, when he was live, when he first reached out, he did that through email, and that was amazing. That was the kind of thing that opened up my eyes to actually contacting people on YouTube and actually getting properly involved. But yeah, I guess we could talk through email, but I could just call your number as you posted it on your page recently. I joke, I jest. We've got a whatever bro in. Doing political talk. No political talk in the chat, please. He's taking me out of English people calling him. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's not a very nice way to do it, Rohan. That's a pretty bad sort of way to do it. Dan Gaze is in. Hi, Dan Gaze. Yeah, we're back from Wales. I'm in Biggleswade now, just chilling in my usual spot. We've got some modded chat. I'm just trying to get through all this. I'm a bit behind again. Yeah, let's not have nasty crosstalk, please. Whatever, bro. I'm happy to have you in, but please be respectful to everybody. I will time out anybody who gets a bit too much of anything. Thoughts on existentialism in philosophy? That's too many big words for me. That's just too big words. We've got. Is that Cheryl? Am I reading that right? I think would like living in a van actually. I'm sure you would. I tell you what, it's worth giving it a try. The worst case scenario is you don't like it, and you can sell it on, or just keep it for like weekend use, for like maybe going on like some holidays. And yeah, you don't have to just like sell up and just jump straight into a van. You can definitely kind of like dip your toe. I think people even rent them out sometimes. I'm sure there's like Airbnbs for them or whatever, or something similar, where you could just rent out a van. But motorhomes, even give it a go in a motorhome, and I'm sure that you can rent people's motorhomes and stuff, and just give it a try just to see if you like travelling around and whatnot. Yeah. Oh, so you lose nothing trying new things. You really do. You should always just try something new. Right, we've got people saying weird stuff. I'm just literally just put some people in some timeouts here. They're clogging up my chat. I don't like it. Michelle saying, yes, this time of year was hard for me. My little girl passed away on the 12th of October 2004 and she was only 9. Sudden cardiac death. I did CPR on her till the ambulance came. Used defib, but they couldn't save her. I'm not always quite sure what the right words are when someone tells me something like that, but I mean, it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking, and I feel it for you. I couldn't imagine losing the boys. But I'm sorry you had to go through that, Michelle. I really am. And I guess yeah, this time of year would be hard. Do you have other kids? Do you have other ones that you still have about? Hopefully that makes it easier if you do. I have no idea what Jackery is. Sorry, so I don't know how. So obviously no, I don't use that. Dange saying, looked like you and the boys had a great time, mate. What are you doing with yourself this weekend? We did. We had a good time. And this weekend I have no plans yet. I probably should do something. I'll probably do some editing and catch up on that and plan some videos out, because I really want to do some better videos and actually put some effort in. It's just sometimes I get in a mental rut with the filming and trying to do stuff, and there's definitely some video I've really got like some really juicy ideas I want to get done. So but yeah, Yeah, I think Sarah said it better than me with the emojis. To be fair, um, that is heartbreaking. What Michelle was saying. Oh, Club is in. Hi, Club. Um, yeah, it's all snug with the fire back there. It's and we got dinner just warming up there. I've got my friend coming over in a little while actually, so we're gonna have to wrap this up soon. Um, Sean saying, talking of camping, nettle tea is underrated. I'm sure it is, but I don't drink normal tea, let alone nettle tea. But I hear good things though. I use a nettle tea kind of thing for my plants down at Lotman. You got like a little nettle fertilizer, and it's essentially just like an overbrewed tea because I've just left nettles in water for like a couple of months, and they just steep in it and just like create this really stinky but very useful concoction. Cheryl saying, I don't have a license due to health, so I'm in an apartment, but my dream was to travel around in something livable. Well, yeah, I mean, find yourself a partner maybe who can drive, and then you can do it together. That's always potentially possible. Although to be fair, it might be easier just to stick around in an apartment than try to find a partner these days. I tell you, finding a partner is a hard thing. Um, Yeah, I can imagine your world will never be the same, Michelle. I mean, and there's no words in the world that can even touch the size of that. That like just, I think losing a child has to be probably one of the most horrific things that could happen to you. I have to say that. I mean, there are some bad things that can happen to you, some very bad things, but losing a child like that, like yeah, I honestly, I couldn't think of a worse thing. Um, Graham saying, "All right, thoughts on Michael Barrymore? I don't really have any thoughts on him." So you have a son, and you're very close. Oh, that's cool. Uh, um, what was the weather been like where you are today? Well, to be fair, it's been fair. It wasn't as rainy on the way back as I thought. We kind of left just as the rain was starting in Wales, which was the idea to get out of it because it was gonna be heavy over there. We um, we made our way back, and we had a little bit of rain on the way back, but in reality, it wasn't. It didn't even rain that much here until after I'd got settled and the boys had gone, and then we got a little bit of heavy rain, and then that was it. James saying, back with a beer. Nice, James. Welcome back. Good to see you. I forget, Sarah. Where are you? You're North Wales, aren't you? Am I right, Sarah? Which did? Yeah, I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah, I think I remember that because I remember thinking that I wasn't that far away from you as I was in the south of Wales. Oh, oh, the stove is a bubbling again. The water is obviously at max temperature. That's how cozy it is in here. I'm going to leave that open. No, that's going to boil itself dry if I don't do something. Let's um, let's just move it forward off the coils, and then we'll see the fire more. There we go. There you go. You reckon? You can see that nice now, and it's also not on the coils giving any trouble. So that's going to be a lot better. Eee, look how cosy that looks. That's nice. So where are we? Rohan saying, why don't I dye my hair? Because I couldn't be bothered. I'll be honest. And to be fair, people make me feel good about it when they come and go and I'm the silver fox. That's a nice compliment. Um, oh, yeah. I saw about the sun. I think you repeated that and it got modded. Sorry, Michelle, but yeah, it's lovely that you've got a son. Is I won't ask ages because I don't know if people are comfortable talking about their kids on here too much. But oh, Jackery is a generator, mate. 1500 watt with a solar panel. It would run a van really well. Oh well, I've already got a big old solar panel at the back. To be fair. So I found it. Well, you will post your number online, Sarah. You're going to get found. You're going to get found. No joke. I just. James. Oh, that's nice of you, James. No, I will not be dyeing my hair. I was asking for Hugh Janus. Cracking. I love it. Oh dear. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Sarah. That's awful. There's well, you've been through it, Sarah, because if that's happened, then with what else I saw, you I don't know what to say. I don't do well with this sort of thing. I'm going to be honest. When people tell me stuff like that, I've no idea how I'm supposed to react. I just know how I feel, and it's just it's even that's hard to explain. But I do. I just want to give somebody a big hug when they tell me things like that. It's one of those things. Actually, I always found that quite difficult when I was little. When someone would tell me something that awful had happened, I just want to give them a hug. But then the knowledge that it's inappropriate to hug people just like randomly would kind of hold me back. So then I'd be frozen, not knowing what to do. But here, all I can really say is, I'm sending my big hugs and my thoughts that you had to go through that. Yeah. No, I don't have a uniform. I do not like uniforms. Yeah, James to the rescue. The silver fox figure. I'm so far behind. I'm miles behind. Right, I'm going to go quick. I'm too far behind. Oh, we got Cheeky in. I nearly missed. Oh yes, I remember you saying you were in Wrexham. Sorry, Sarah. Yeah, I remember you actually telling me that before. Cheeky saying, "Hi, Molly. Hope you're well. So I haven't been around. Was a bit under the weather. Do you know everyone's been under the weather, Cheeky? Like everybody. Even was poorly this week, and we've had like everybody like got something. We've got Michelle had the chest infection. Sarah was not feeling 100%. We had Sparker was a bit poorly. I think there was several other people saying that they've been like under the weather as well. I mean, the list goes on. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, I think Gracie was not well. Mr. Cat wasn't very good either. Just loads of people just not well lately. I think this week has just been like a properly like last week or so. Everybody's just been out with something. It's mental. I've got away with it. So lucky if I don't get it from Ethan. I'm going to be honest. 40s is young. Yeah, I tell you, sometimes it feels young, and other times it feels really old, and it just depends on how things are going. We've got a George in. Not the best name in the world. I've got too many Georges in my family. But I'll let you off. Do you like Saudi Arabia? I've never been, so I have no thoughts on it. But I'm sure it's a lovely place. I'm sure it is. She'll send children are our tomorrow future. That's true. That's true, which is why we've got to teach them the right way to be happy and to deal with life. I think that's like one of the biggest things that I focus on with the homeschool with the boys, is it's that kind of like how to be happy, how to think positively, which is quite hard. It's quite hard, especially with Henry. Oh, he tests me. He's been a teenager now, and Ethan is not far behind. But we get there, and it's all about that kind of like having the kind of right mindset. This is why, for instance, I'm very open with them about when I've been dating and stuff like that. So like I'll tell them about stuff so they can see, so that they know that I was dating Louise, and they sort of heard stories about her. She never met them because that was like obviously that's something you just don't do. You've got it. There's timing with that sort of thing, but that I let them know what's going on in my life and what's going on with me and how I'm dealing with it. And so like when it didn't work out, so they know that it's not a weird thing if you try for a relationship with somebody and it just doesn't work out. And they can see that it's okay to give it a try, and it's not a failure if it doesn't work. You just you try again. And it's things like that showing them that you've got to be strong through adversity, and you just got to keep trying. I think that's really important. I'm not sure if Sarah's talking to me or somebody else there, but I assume somebody else about the someone who's been beautiful. I'm pretty sure Sarah is not. I'm pretty sure Sarah is who she says she is. I'm like 99.9% sure on that one. We haven't met in person. If we ever do, the 0.1 will be there as well. But but I'm pretty sure Sarah is who she says she is. And to be fair, it doesn't even matter. If someone comes near and they tell me they're Santa Claus, I'm going to call them Santa. and I'm just going to let them be Santa Claus. I literally think, come on here, be who you want to be. I think that's one beauty about the internet that people see sometimes as a negative, which it can be if you're abusing it. It's a bit like anything. Like a kitchen knife is very solid as a tool in the kitchen, but it can be used for bad as well. Same as a rifle. It's good for hunting, and if you're a hungry guy and you're in the wilderness and you need to eat, that's a solid tool. But again, wars and stuff happen. And it's like, things like that, just, it's how people use them. And the internet is a good thing, but it can be used for bad. And same as the anonymity of the internet. So you can be whoever you want to be, and that's a fantastic thing. But some people abuse that, and they do bad things with that, and they're bad people, and you can, but Sarah was good people, so we don't mind Sarah, and everybody in this chat who chats with me is good people, and we're all good, and we can be who we want in here. There's nothing dodgy going on, and I just always say everyone keep safe and don't share your personal details. Unless you're Sarah and you want to just post your number on your on your own channel randomly. That still gets me every time. I tell you, I'm going to be. That's in my head for like days. This is for weeks. I don't know. Anyway, what we got? You're not monetized. I would say, I don't know. I'd appreciate it. I will be honest. I was monetized, and I did earn a little bit of money from it. But I will be monetized again soon enough. My watch hours is going up, and yeah, I'll get my ability to do memberships and stuff back, which would be really nice. I don't know what Rohan said, it was rude, but don't you worry, Cheeky. He's all right. Hey, Tim's in, and Campbell. How are you guys doing? Welcome back. Good to see you both. Yeah, Sarah is absolutely stunning. We've seen her on her page. She's stunning. Although, to be fair, I have realised that you use some filters, Sarah, so I don't think you look like you're in your 20s, really, but you don't really need to either. Whoa, that reminds me. You had your 40th birthday recently, is that right? I'm sure I saw that in your community stuff. People were saying happy birthday, and I did post in there and say, I think I've missed it, but happy birthday. You never even saw it, but happy birthday belatedly for whenever that was. Rohan saying about, I will not be banning them. They are part of my YouTube family. They will not be banned. I'm so got to go make myself some food, then got make some phone calls. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone. Take care. Take care, Michelle. Thanks for coming by, and yeah, love you loads. You have a nice evening. I won't be giving out my PayPal on here. You can wait until I'm monetized, and then you can help me in some super chats or something, and it'll be more than graciously accepted, with great thanks. But yeah, we'll stick to just chit chatting and growing the family for now, which is the more important thing to me. Right. Well, I'm going to scroll a bit. Rohan's been talking too much, but I think I might have. Rohan, you're going to stop going on about it. I'm going to have to bloody give you a time out. 29th of November. There we got to the bottom finally. I've just skipped all of Rohan stuff. 47. I for some reason I thought someone said it was your 40th, but hard to tell really. But I'm terrible with guessing ages. One of the women I dated was 49. She'd put on her profile 39, and within a couple of dates she kind of fessed up about it, and I was like, okay. I mean, it's a bit of a weird, like, kind of like a yellow flag for me. Like, I get it, if you're a bit self-conscious about stuff or something and you don't want people to know how old you are or whatever. She said it was down to the fact that she got only matched with men who were older than her, and she didn't like a lot of these really old guys who were in their 50s and 60s. I was like, that was fair play. But for me, age is just a number. It's not about that. I remember telling you, Sarah, I'm more attracted to a person rather than how they look, sort of thing. I'm sure there's a word for that, but I don't go into all the labels, to be fair. 29th of November. So our birthdays are in the same month. I'm just a bit earlier than yours. So what's Tim saying? I'm fine. Just been using USB-C cables, researching fast 100-watt chargers, batteries, cables for long distance. See, you're looking to like gear up for another trip, are you? You can speak all you want, Rohan, but just don't keep bashing on about stuff. And also I've had to skip most of it and get to the bottom. Jeez. Oh yeah, I saw about that. the curse you gave to the place. That was awesome. That was funny. You should have you posted about that on your channel? I think you should. I think you should put a little post on the channel about it. Like not a video. I mean, just literally just a post or something. Um, what's it? What's Sarah wish? Sorry. Um, Sarah says I wish laugh out loud, but I don't know what you're referring to because that must have been said when I was talking about something else, or maybe you're talking about somebody in the chat. I need clarity. We've got Cheryl saying yes, thoughts and much love to you, Michelle. Oh, that was when Michelle was going. Oh, I see. Yeah. We've got someone called Save saying Army Man. I'm not an Army Man. Never was, never have been. I did the Army Cadets for a little while, for a couple of years or so when I was little, but that's the closest I got to any Army stuff. Yeah, I bet that cheered you up, Tim. Honestly. Hey, Sparker's in. Hi, Sparker. I bet you are, Sarah. Like a fine wine. I always say I am. People sometimes ask me what I looked like when I was in my 20s, and I'm like, I was fatter and I was not as handsome by any way, shape or form. I didn't have proper style or anything, and even now I don't really have style, but I've kind of grown into the old man look all right. So well, yeah, I feel like I'm all right now, but I was not that good looking when I was younger at all. I'm like, yeah, I've definitely got better with age, so I'm always happy with that. Tim saying I actually have this skill by accident. I'd get annoyed with a calf when I used to use breakfast. To be fair, I don't know if it's a skill, Tim. Right? So you ever hear this thing about where people feel like it's like it's sunny where they are but cloudy all around, and it's because you're looking across the clouds, a bit like the cloud, sorry, a bit like how the grass is always greener. Because when you're looking at a field away from you, you're looking across the grass and it all looks green. But when you look down at your one, you can see all the brown patches because it's just the level of perspective, and it's a bit like that with the clouds and that as well, where if you look up and you can see all the blue sky, but when you look across the bottom of the clouds, all you see is the bottom of the clouds because there's enough of them blocking the blue sky, so it looks like it's cloudy all around you, but you've got all the blue sky, but it's not actually happening. That's just perspective. It's the same as that with your restaurants and coffee shops and whatever things and pubs. The thing is, they're bad, so of course, you know, they're going to upset enough people eventually. They don't have good enough service because it's service industry. If they don't have good enough service and they're bad and they don't understand who's a loyal customer and who's not, and they're mistreating customers, they're of course going to get out of business. So yeah, they treated you and John badly, but you can bet your bottom dollar they treated other people badly, and so yeah, they go out of business. So but it seems like maybe it's because of what you did, but in reality it's just they're bad. That's all it is. It's just a matter of perspective. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. Anyway, sorry to try to burst your bubble. We've got Sarah laughing. What's Cheeky saying? Sarah, was it you I had that fallout with on Tom's live stream a few weeks ago? Oh, right. You've been having fallouts with people, Cheeky. I want to know the goss now. What's the tea on this? What did you fall out with somebody about? When you say Tom's live, which Tom? The only Tom I think I know in here is Tom in the tent. Is that the Tom you're talking about, or are you talking about some other Tom? So there are two questions: which Tom, and what happened? Tell us, Cheeky. And we got Tim saying, "I know, but I do have a surprising amount of places that close after I stop going." Maybe you're just spending that much money in these places that you're keeping them afloat. Then I just. We've got Wendy in just scrolling and found this. So what's going on, etc. And where are you? Great questions, Wendy. Great to have you in. I'm in my van, and as you can see, I'm sat by my stove, just enjoying a nice warm evening, waiting for my friend to turn up with some wood for said stove, and he's going to join me for some dinner, which is on said stove. And yeah, we're just chilling, having a little bit of adult banter back and forth. The channel's all about my van life, my family life with me and my boys. And yeah, just getting around, doing some board games, doing some camping and just whatever, but quite often just shooting a breeze like we are this evening because it's a Friday night. I've done a few games and now it's just time to chill. That is the channel in a nutshell. I hope you like it, and if you do, think about subscribing and joining us on a regular basis. We've got loads of our YouTube family in right now, and we're having a great time. Actually says I can't remember his channel. Okay. My brother's called Tom, but Jealousy is what I have. Where? Where? What are you saying about jealousy, Sarah? I lost you. Um, oh, where am I? Oh, sorry, I missed that part. So I'm in Bedfordshire at the moment, a place called Biggleswade, if you know it. But that's basically in the UK. I don't know where you are, so whether that has any reference to you. Whereabouts are you, Wendy? Are you UK based, or are you somewhere else in this big wide world? Um, so I'm just trying to think. What have I asked everybody? My brain does this every now and then. I don't know if anyone else has this, and this is one of those things where I'm pretty sure it's like a sign about me being on the spectrum. But every now and then, my brain just goes like it's like the thing where you walk through a doorway. You know, like when you know what you're going in a room for, and you walk through the doorway, and there's a word for this because it's a scientific kind of like thing that happens. You walk through a threshold, and poof, your brain goes in a reset mode. You can't remember what on earth you're in there for. And no matter how long you spend in that room, you won't figure it out until you go out of the room, start doing something else, and then you remember you've got to go back. My brain does this in the middle of a conversation. It'll just go, you don't remember anything anyone said. And I'm like, wow, what, or rather what I've asked people. So I can't remember if I've asked, who I've asked what their weekend plans are. So if I haven't asked you weekend plans yet, get them down in the chat and tell me. Oh, what, people start on you, Sarah? That's awful. It's what are you talking about? Stop calling me Alan. It's Mole or Moley. um, I'll start on you, Sarah. No, I won't. Oh dear. Senior moment, yes. I don't call it a senior moment because I've had them since I was little. It's not really a senior thing. All right, Noah, good to see you in. Yeah, well, I get a brain fog like any person, and it generally does happen more when I've got a bit of brain fog on if I've not slept well. It's called oh yes, the Mandela effect. Yes, something like that. That swings a bell. It's either that or something very similar. But yes, yeah, it does have. It's called something effect. That's what the Cheeky's on it. Cheeky knows exactly what I'm talking about. So she's the smart one. Yeah. But I'm gonna have to wrap this up. I think soon. I'm sure Lucas. Oh, I'm looking for my phone and it's right in front of me. Yeah, Lucas will be here soon, and I don't really want to be streaming when he turns up because I don't think he'd be comfortable being on the stream. But he might be. I don't know. He's got a YouTube channel, but he doesn't actually do anything on it anymore. And years ago, he used to post like drone footage stuff, and I liked some of what he did, but then he just stopped. I don't think it was for him. The Mandela effect was misremembering the past. Maybe, I don't know. It's definitely something affected. There is definitely effect where when you walk through a threshold, you basically your brain does like a switch thing. It's mental. Uh, but it was not how you remember. Oh, so that's the Mandela effect. Okay, so it's not quite that one, but it is something like that. I think that's the thing. When you know the name of something, you can figure out what it is. But when you're trying to figure out the name of something that you don't know the name of, it's like whatever. My brain can't be bothered. Never agrees with me. Yeah, that is true. Do you know, I watched this video, and me and the boys decided to give our brains names as well. There was this woman who basically said she named her brain because her brain does stupid stuff like wake up in the morning and just says you can't be bothered today, just don't even bother trying. And it's like, and she has to sort of talk to her. What did she call her brain? I think wow, what did she call it? It was like a really normal name. I can't remember what it was now. I don't know. It was like it was like a really normal name. What did she call her brain? I can't remember. But it was so. But she's. I've got nothing against people called this, but that's what come out. And I just go, oh, don't be like that. Don't be like that in the morning. Don't do that to me. I've only just woken up and literally talked to her own brain. And I think it's like her mechanism for being mindful. Because I try to be mindful all the time and try to figure out what my brain is doing and why. But yeah, Sarah says I never agree with all my personalities, but they keep me busy. Yep, that's that. Hear that. Oh, Cheeky got modded. That's, oh, blimey! Well, it got modded, but I don't know why. But I'll show that. Cheeky said, to be honest, Molly, I was just taking the mick out of his wife, and I felt I had every right to. They created lots of fake accounts and got my old channel deleted. Do you know what? I kind of agree with you, and I don't at the same time, Cheeky. So I teach my boys that retaliation is always worse than the original act, because the original act would have been done out of ignorance, stupidity, just rashness, whatever. But when you do something to somebody else because you're getting back at what they did, that's a decision you've made to do that thing, and it's not cool. But at the same time, if they've got your channel deleted, that's a bit out of order, and so they kind of need the karma. So I'm a bit on the fence with that one, because I'm like, yeah, they need the karma on that. They got to sort themselves out. You know, can't be going around getting people's things. So they need some sort of like comeuppance. But at the same time, I do teach my boys retaliation is not cool. So yeah, I think you're fine. You didn't do anything bad. You were just like having a row with them. So I think you're well in the fine. You definitely have the right to voice an opinion at somebody and probably take the mick a bit if they've done that to you. So no, I'm on your side with this one. You didn't actually retaliate and do anything nasty, so that's all good. So we had a little recap there. I don't know what happened there. Maybe a little internet issue with the wind going on. Where the boys, have they gone home? Well, this is their home, but they obviously 50-50 between me and their mum, and they have gone back to their mums, which is why we can have a sort of like one-on-one. Now we lost Sienna. I think Sienna disappeared. I hope I didn't like ignore her and then she just left. It was a long time ago. If she watches this after, I am sorry if I missed a message or anything, Sienna. But I was just thinking about her. She was in and she's not here. Benny's like, I'm going to give my brain a name now. It's a worthwhile idea. Ethan immediately goes, I'm going to call my brain Henry, because we were talking about the destroyer part. Because I teach the boys this idea of the destroyer. I got it from a book. It's like or even a series about Calvin the Maker, and how he's like this like, and he's basically, he's like good. He's like the maker. He like creates things, and it's good. And then there's the destroyer. It's like just like this entity, if you like, that tries to tear everything down. It's basically chaos. The idea of chaos, and how like human beings innately have a bit of both in you, and it's kind of like a war inside you, trying to be good, but also, you know, like, and be creative and bring like joy and happiness in the world. And so things, obviously, you know, like entertainers are, you know, makers in their own right, bringing entertainment, but also, you know, people who are educating, or like people who are making things, like building things. But then you've got the destroyers, who are people who are just quick and easy to just tear things down, and we all know about them. And we all have a bit of that inside of us sometimes. And I talk to the boys about it and say, oh, you've got to differentiate, because, like, you know, that little voice in your head that says, oh, it's going to be funny just to do this thing and wind him up, is realistically going to just get you in trouble. And you've got to differentiate that voice from your own, like, sort of conscious mind that goes, no, that's not cool. Figure that out. That's not cool. And you're going to get in some trouble eventually. Don't do it. And so I said to him, maybe that's what she's doing there. She's labelling her destroyer with a name to humanize it a bit, so that she can actually recognize it a little bit easier. So Ethan was like, I know what I'm going to call my destroyer. I'm going to call my destroyer Henry. And I went, you can't do that. That's out of order. Oh dear. So then I think he went with David in the end, because that was like his uncle, but I don't know. Cheryl says, I'll name my brain Broken. Oh, bad days, fair enough. All right, I think I'm behind on the chat again. Let me just quickly delve in. Yeah, Tim, that was the guy off the fourth. But play against Sam was never said in Casablanca. Are we going about things that were never actually said? Yeah, there's a lot of that, isn't there? Yeah, you took your little revenge, Cheeky. That's all fair. Hey, Cat's in, Mr. Cat. How'd it go? Whoa, Mr. Cat's in. How did it go? DVSA has postponed it into... Oh, you're joking. How can they do that? I suppose maybe the instructor was poorly or something, but still. But it works out in your favour because you have a cold. Oh, yeah, that's true. I remember you saying you were a bit poorly. Well, never mind. It'll be all right, and I guess you get more time to do a couple more lessons, get more solids. Yeah, so not too bad. But when is it postponed till 22nd? That'd be a nice Christmas gift, wouldn't it? Get the old provisional gone, get the full license. Sweet. Um, what am I cooking? So that's just some bolognese I cooked earlier in the week, and it's just like on its third reheat now. Just put it in the fridge after each one and just bang it back out. I need to put some spaghetti on, I think. I don't want to do it until Lucas is here, just in case he's running late or anything like that. He said 8 o'clock, but I don't know. He might be heading back by later. I'm not really sure. Uh, I'll what's that? I'll name my name. How are you still functioning? You mean you'll name your brain? How are you still functioning? Yeah, that's fair play. But that's a long-winded name. Just go with how. Just go with how. That's it. That's how you can name your name. Brain, not name. Yeah, I got you, Sarah. You're good. Yeah, I hope I answered all now. Did I miss anything, Kat? I hope not. Um, but I hope you're feeling a bit better at least, Kat. Like, health-wise. Hope your cold's improving. Um, what is Tim going on? Do you know what, Tim? You're completely off whatever I'm talking about, and I'm just going to let you be you in the chat and just talk to whoever you're talking to. Oh dear. Oh man. Oh. Oh yeah, that makes sense. The old examiner is unwell. Everybody is unwell. There's just ridiculous, Cat, how many people are unwell right now. Um, oh, destroyer equals id. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, there's a lot of different names for it. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about that stuff. Sorry, Tim. Let me go back. Id's superego and ego. Id is the dark, inaccessible part of our personality. Yeah, the old dark passenger, as what's his name would call it. But yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have not read any of the big works by anybody, philosophy and psychology and all that. I've generally speaking made it up all myself, and I don't know all the proper terms. And I slowly but surely learned some. Like I learned a term recently called limerence, which I was like, ooh, that's an interesting thing. Um, yeah, and just I go by learning all the terminology slowly but surely. But I figured a lot of it out without knowing the names of it all on my own. So yeah, and I don't agree with everybody's points, philosophy wise and psychology wise. Like, I don't like the idea of people putting everyone into a box. I understand it kind of needs to be done in terms of like that society wants to be able to label everybody so that they can say this person gets this person gets that, he should go there, she should go here, and it's like, well, yeah, it might make like the bureaucracy and the paperwork a bit easier to be able to put everyone into a box. But that doesn't mean we can actually put everyone into a box. And so when psychologists kind of attempt to do that, I like and therapists and stuff, I'm like, whoa, you got to be careful with this. Nobody fits inside of a box. It just doesn't. It's not a thing. Uh, made lovely poetin. It should be ready. A point. Oh, what you've made some. What is that? What is that? How do I say that even? Poitin? What is that? That sounds awesome, cheeky, but I've never heard of that. It should be ready in about 2.5 weeks, just in time for Xmas. What? I'm assuming, is that a food? I'm assuming that is. The Silent Assassin, says Sarah. Is that a new name for your brain? Or is that just your career? Is that your new career now? You're going away from like the palliative care and turning to a more active role as the Silent Assassin. I know I shouldn't joke probably about it, but still. We're all on. Well, yeah, there's only one spectrum, and they just put some arbitrary lines. But also, it's not even a spectrum because that's nonsense. Because that assumes there's just a straight line, like a one-dimensional thing, like, or even a two-dimensional thing. But it's like, no, it's not. It's definitely 3, 4, 5, 6 dimensions. Brains are not 1 or 2 dimensions. They're definitely multiple dimensions, I think. So yeah. I think that's the problem that they don't realise. A brain is a multi-dimensional thing. Like, people go, oh, there's like 3, 4 dimensional. The brain is many more dimensions than that. That's the thing. If you think about it, the way a brain works and the way we think, that is where the other you get a peek at the other dimensions. Wendy's saying, yes, agree. Had that argument with my psychology teacher. He agreed, but said you have to write what they need you to go along with to get your grades. So agree with you. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the thing. I think any decent psychology teacher and stuff or anything like that, they understand that you can't put a person in a box like as a person, but all the paperwork requires it. I mean, I've had to answer some questions about Henry where they're like trying to, these psychology tests where they're like trying to figure things out. It's like, if this happens, does you do, and then you have to go, I strongly agree, I neither agree or disagree, I disagree and I strongly disagree, and it's like stupid questions like, does he, like, if given the choice, would he prefer to go to a library or to a party? And I'm like, well, that would depend on a lot of things. Like, what are they doing at each venue? Like, if at the library he's going to have to do some work, he ain't going, and it doesn't matter how bad the party is. If the, like, if you're talking, is it that he likes the quiet setting as opposed to the loud setting? Sure, he's probably going to go with the quiet setting. But if you're talking that there's work there, he'll go for the loud setting because he don't want to sit down and do any work. So that's a really one-dimensional question. That how do you answer this stuff? So I was like, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to put anything into a box these days. The idea of two souls being combined is correct in a long-term relationship. Decaphasics, have I said that right? Is what you go through when you split. Sounds very deep, but I'm not sure. Like, I follow the like what you, because you've used some terminology there. So, but I kind of think I get the idea. Pachin. That's how you pronounce it, Pachin. It's basically Irish moonshine. Oh, I see. You're making a little bit of booze. Fair enough. What is this Call of Duty X-rated thing now? Hey, I tell you, Sarah's just like turned into just a mash of laughing. Oh, dearie me. Right. It's been 2 hours. I think it's time to call this. We've got to wrap this up, and I think Lucas has got to be here soon. So I want to get some water on and make some spaghetti up to go with my bolognese. And to be fair, I think the bolognese will have to go on top for a little bit just to get it up to a really scorching temperature. And but it's been fantastic. It's been lovely having everybody in. It's always lovely seeing a lot of you, and especially on a Friday night. And don't forget, Sarah, I'm available if you want to chit chat ever. I don't want you being all lonely, and you've been through enough. You don't really want to be sitting around alone. But also everyone else, always, as I say, all my family members, my email's in the bio. If you want to chit chat elsewhere, then drop me an email. And if you're interested in a van tour, camping together, any of that sort of nonsense, I'm always open for, even if just a drink down somewhere. I won't be drinking no alcohol, but you can have a drink and I'll have a Coke and we'll be all good, and it'll be solid. So anyone who wants to chit chat ever, just hit me up on the old email. But for now, that's it. That's Friday night for me, and I'm going to hopefully enjoy some chess with Lucas. I hope you guys all have a lot of fun and do something fun with your time and have a good weekend. But maybe I'll see some of you tomorrow for the next stream. Number 66, that'll be. We're nearly at 69. Nearly at 69. 67 is going to have everyone in giving it the 6-7. But the 69 is the one that I'm looking forward to. That's going to have every joke in the book, isn't it? That's all right, Sparker. Always lovely to have you in. And I will get in touch soon. I'm chomping at the bit to get back up to the Peak District now. That's definitely where I want to be up next. So, I'll be hitting you up to let you know when I'm going to be in the area, and we'll work something out. But for now, as always, have fun.